Hello there, today I've got something truly epic for you. We are going to load 115,000 water bottles per minute into trains in Satisfactory. That's right, we're pushing the boundaries of what's possible in this game, and I can't wait to show you how it's done. What's this all for, you may ask? Well, in order to provide me with all the water needed for my future nuclear power plant, which I decided to build in the Dune Desert, where, by the way, absolutely no water exists, I have to bring in water via trains. But not just any train. 32 freight cars, massive long trains. And to add another layer of challenge for this project, I decided to bottle up all the water. So today we are building this. Now, first things first, let's talk about the setup to achieve this insane feat. The location I choose is here in the most north part of the map, and I already checked out the world border to see how far I can get with this build. That's about around here. And what with the math goes, there's no way I can load all the water bottles into one singular train. So I split it up into 12 train stations. So I already built one here, and there's gonna be 11 more in the future. And every train station has 32 freight cars. 16 to load bottles and 16 to unload the empty canisters, who will come back eventually once emptied out at the destination. I hope so. So how does this setup work exactly? Well, we have water extractors, overclocked, produce 300 cubic meter of water per minute. 2 of them makes a 600 pipe, goes into 4 packagers. Overclocked as well, 250 per minute. That means we get 300 on this side and 300 on this side. That's 600 in total, which go on to a belt into this bin. And this bin loads up this freight platform with the full water of bottles, and the platform right behind is going to unload the empty canisters, going to this bin and get back recycled into the system. Now, what's that in mathematician? 150k water divided by 600, that means 191.66 whatever thingies divided by 16, which we load, makes a number of 11.9. To round that up, we're gonna make 12 train stations. That's how I became this number of 12 train stations. Who would have guessed? Now, in theory, this works just fine. And I think I'm going to build the second one and see what problems will come up. Hopefully nothing. Okay, second row is done, and what I also did was I started to produce some empty canisters, and that's pretty easy. There comes an oil line in from over there, goes into plastic machine refinery, spits up some plastic, as well as heavy oil residue, which get turned into petroleum coke, which I sink. Easy as that, and they overclock and sloop the empty canister production from the plastic. That's a pretty beefy setup, but that's gonna take a minute to fill all the bins up with empty canisters. And I refined my blueprint for the water bottling system over here, as you can see. And how that works is I have a water extractor part blueprint that's going like that. Line up the canisters with the train station. Make the blueprint into place, build that thing, and it should line up very well. There comes the output and the water bottles go in over here. So that's my blueprint for that. As I said before, water extractors can't be placed in a blueprint, so I'm gonna manually place them all over. Now, what was going through my head is there's no way I'm building all 12 train stations of these before I test at least one. At least one I have to test. Imagine a scenario where I build all that stuff and then it turns out it doesn't even work. So I have to test this. And that means we can build a huge train and test that setup. And here we are on my testing grounds. So how that's working, there's one limestone node over there. All the limestone go into a refinery to make wet concrete. I used that recipe because it uses the most amount of water I could find real quick. So 100 per minute here. Now the train is set and built, and it's exactly the same process as the loading except just flipped. So I'm gonna go and start to train. Edit turntable, water plant loading station 1. That should be fine here. And unloading test save changes. And go on, little train. Little massive, big, huge mother train. Let's go, baby. Okay, bottles get filled in and the train just arrives. What a coincidence. Man, is that a huge train. Wow. That's so cool. Oh, I hope this works. I never built such a massive train like that. Now, if every second freight cart station is loading, that means it works. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, you can see there in the distance, every second one is loading. Ooh, nice. Now the bigger question is, does the unloading process work? And brings back the empty canisters. So I'm gonna hop over and see if that works as well. Okay, I let the game run for 3 hours. For 3 hours the game runs and I think it works quite well. The bottles get unloaded, the empty canisters got loaded here, and I think it's working pretty fine. Yeah, it looks good. For 3 hours no problem has appeared, so of course there's nowhere near enough limestone to produce the concrete to use up 100 water per minute, not even to mention 600 water per minute per freight platform. Of course, but that's gonna change when we build the nuclear facility. But yeah, it works. Okay, now a lot of work ahead of me and I'm wasting no time in building that stuff, but no wasting time for you. You know how that goes on this channel when we build huge stuff. And for that, we have to go over to this little pillar here, position ourselves about here around. Yeah, like that. And I do my magic. Oh, mama. So to make this moment even more epic, we built from this to freaking this. Of course, I had to make the last force on a different angle, which did make the building process easier, but I have it done. Wow, your lovely faces, that was intense. What do you think? Of course, we're not loading 115,000 water per minute right now, but it's all set and done. And as you can see, the empty canisters go full force into the bins they have to go, and I'm continue loading them up as I progress in the game. And most of it was built on stream, so I started live streaming on YouTube and Twitch. So if you are interested in that, go over and join me there. And I really like to talk to your faces. Now one last step, place the signaling. and the additional train tracks to go over in the desert. Okay, that is also done, and you can see I already started to place the rail tracks to go into which is gonna be my biggest nuclear power plant I ever built here in the desert. And if you wanna be part of that journey, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. So next episode we're gonna build huge water towers to utilize our just built water plant. Thanks very much for watching, and a closer is overrated.